Yo, what up? We back with another edition of RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And today we're gonna get into a situation that one of my subscribers hit me up about. And her situation is kind of unique. Maybe to you, not to me, because I've probably seen it all since I've been in prison. But her story goes like this. She was dealing with somebody that's in prison. I believe she was in prison too. They both was in prison. They met each other. Um, she came home. He's still in prison. They started a relationship with each other. Now she's home. He's not, of course. So she has male friends that I guess she wasn't so forthcoming about. And recently, she just told him about one of her male friends that, in her words, she said she was being selfish and didn't want to lose her friend. And that's why she didn't tell him about the dude. She hasn't, well, as of the date of the message on my phone, she was yet to receive any word back from him because homie was in the box. And she just wanted to know, like, how would I take it? Being somebody that was in his shoes before, talking about prison. I probably was in his shoes before with his situation also, but I've been in so many different situations. But what I would do, me personally, staying on topic, if I was in prison still and my female was not and she had a male friend, me personally, as long as you there for me, I ain't tripping about that, Now, this is funny because it depends on the person, because there are loyal females out there that will hold you down your whole bid, And if you got one of those, kudos to you, It's not a lot of them out there. So, since I know it's not a lot of them out there, this is how I look at the situation when I go to prison. I don't want to set myself up for any heartbreaks and failures while I'm in there. So I try not to worry about nothing that I can't control. And I try not to put myself in positions where I'm going to be forced with a situation that I can't control. Which is why I really don't do the relationship thing when I'm in prison. I met a nice young lady at the end of my bid who kind of changed my outlook on that. But I had to learn the hard way. When I first came to prison, I had a baby mother that I was with for 10 years, And I believe I was in prison for me. I went to prison in September. And in October, when my moms came to the house to pick up the kids or something, she had another guy there already. She was already on to the next. And that was real hard for me to deal with, So when I finally did get over it, I told myself, I don't never want to feel pain like that again. So now my outlook is I don't want to get too emotionally attached to anybody while I'm in here and give them the opportunity to have me feeling like that again. So my next bid, it didn't really kick in. That thinking didn't really kick in that bid because I was still screwed up over my kid's mom. I was with her for 10 years. So it was the second bid when I just caught this 12 years that I came in with a whole different mindset, I didn't want no girlfriend. I didn't want no relationship. If you're going to be around for me, be around for me. And when my feet touch the ground, then we could pick it up, you know what I mean? But I didn't want to be in the predicament that homie is in right now, with my girl telling me, listen, I got a male friend out here, because that's not the easiest thing to do. And that's only because it's not the easiest thing to accept either. Looking at it from my point of view, I've always looked at it from my point of view. Like, I'm in jail, hold me down. You know what I mean? That's what every guy wants. But I had a celly that kind of like broke it down to me, and he didn't even know how he opened my eyes, but I was asking him to hook me up with his girlfriend friend, and he tried, and he basically came to me and was like, listen, girls ain't interested in dudes that behind these walls. Like, she wants somebody that's going to be able to take her to a movie, get her some candy and dinner, and bring her home and give her a stiff one at the end of the night. I can't do that from here, you know. I'm looking for somebody that's going to give me some letters, and it just didn't work out, you know. So now, that was my first bid. I had got that lesson. Now my second bid, I come to jail, and I'm like, I don't want to be in a relationship because I don't want to put nobody else in a predicament where they have to deprive themselves for any pleasure because of me. So there's two different versions of how I would take this now. The old me that went to jail and his kid's mom left him 2 months after he was gone, I would have felt like, I don't ever want to speak to you again. You hurt me. You broke my heart, hurt my feelings. You should have just practiced abstinence until I came home. I don't know. You should have not did it. That's how I would have felt. But being around a lot of lifers and a lot of people that prison life has become their life, you know. You pick up jewels along the way, and one of the biggest jewels I picked up is don't get too emotionally attached in anything that you have no control over. And now, knowing that, the new version of me would hear this information and would be like, all right, basically, where do we stand now? I don't care about what you doing with your box. That's your box, miss. Care about what you doing with that while I'm in here, because I can't do nothing with it. So it ain't like you give it to me and I could do something with it. I'm in here, I'm in prison, I can't do nothing with it. So if you have those urges, you have that itch, then you probably did the same thing that I and any other man would have did. Went out and satisfied it. That's how I'm looking at it now. So I'm not mad. I'm more mad about abandonment. If you go find somebody else and now you and your friend move off and live happily ever after, and it's like, the hell with me and whatever we had going on, and I'm stuck in this cage, that could sting a little bit more than you telling me, listen, I had a friend I ain't want to tell you about. You get cool points for coming up being upfront about it, because if homie's in prison, he can't really do much about it, and you didn't really have to tell him, you know. So I would assume that he would have to give you points. If he's like the old me, this is a two-part answer. If he's like the old me, he's going to be upset. He's going to be stubborn. And depending on how much time he have, you might have to wait to hear back from him. If he's like the new me, he's going to say, okay, thank you for coming in with me with this information. Are you still down with me? Are you still going to hold me down? Are we still in this together? Or are you telling me that you abandoning me for this dude? Nobody wants to be abandoned. I can't find a nice way to say that. So if the message that you're giving him is, I'm telling you this happened and I'm still here for you, I think you'll be all right, you know. I kind of think, like, if he get in his feelings, he might get in his feelings about it for a little while. Depending on how much time he have, I think you'll be all right, you know, because I've been there before. I had somebody tell me, listen, I love you, you know, and I want to make sure you're okay. But as far as saving myself for you, I don't think I can do that. And I didn't want to hear it, but she was actually there for me my whole bid, you know, emotionally, which is what I really needed more than anything. So I think as long as you continue to be there for that man, you know, he is going to eventually have to accept the circumstances that he's in the same way that he's accepting them from the state, you know, or feds or whatever he's in, you know what I mean? The same way he's accepting those circumstances, these are just other circumstances that come with it that he may have to accept. And that's pretty much all I got on that situation, you know. Be careful for how he might act when he come home, because you got dudes that's going to be like, all right, do you. And then now I'm home and it's like, don't try to slow me down now, because when I was in there, you was doing you. So of course, you might have to worry about that. But other than that, you know what I mean? I think you should be good, love. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, hit the like button. If you have any questions or anything you want to chop it up with me about, you can leave me a message here, or you can hit me on Instagram. My Instagram is WES.SMITH.129. And until next time, peace.